we are going to summarize the things that we have learned so far. Selection tool, direct selection tool, rotate, reflect, scale, and duplicate. And we're going to create a flower. We have these three shapes that are available: the star, circle, and the triangle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. To duplicate, all you need to do is select on the object, hold the Option key, drag it out. When I drag it out, I'm going to move it to the center to where the dotted line is. Then I'm going to duplicate the circle once more, and I'm going to adjust it. Using the scale tool, S, I can adjust the size. Now I'm going to also use the direct selection tool now to make the end pointy. So I'm going to click on this anchor point and I'm going to drag it out. Now because the petal is pointy at the end, I need to get rid of the anchor handle at the bottom part of the circle. So I'm going to push it in, and then I'm going to drag this anchor handle on the side right out to create my rounded petal with a pointy edge. Now we are going to duplicate the petals. So I'm going to click R. I'm going to move the point of rotation to the center of this flower. And then now I'm going to hold Option, click, and drag. And I'm going to duplicate it now. To repeat that previous action, all I need to do is the tool, Command D. Command D, and now I have created my flower. And you're going to do the same thing for this particular thing. And I'm going to show you how you can do it one more time. So I'm going to duplicate the star, hold Option, click, and drag. Then I'm going to duplicate this triangle, and then I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to scale it so that it's a little bit bigger. And what I want to do is I actually want to make the edges round. So I'm going to click on these inner circles here and I'm going to round out the petal. Now you can see I can just scale it a bit to make it fit. And there you go. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate the petal and then repeat that action. So R, I'm going to find the center of rotation, which is right here in the middle of the star. And I'm going to click and drag and move it outwards. Command D, do. There you go. And then I can just move it around to fit where the star is. And there you have it. I have 2 flowers. Once you're done with this activity, make sure you take a screenshot of it and post it on the update slide. The next activity is understanding shapes. So the shape tool has multiple different options that you can choose from. If you can see this white dot at the right corner of the tool, you can see that there are different options. There's a rectangle, ellipse, polygon, star, and line tool. And what we want to do is we want to select on the particular one that we want to use. So I'm going to use the rectangle tool and I'm going to make sure that I create my shape using that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to click and drag. There you go. That is my very simple rectangular shape. Now, if I want my square to be the same ratio, remember you just need to hold Shift, click, and drag, and there you go. To rotate, I just want to duplicate this square, scale it down, rotate. Then it's the same thing for the circle. Now I'm going to right click and I'm going to find the ellipse tool and I'm going to hold the Shift tool. Shift, so that it stays the same ratio. I can also expand the circle and start it from the center. So I need to do hold Option and Shift, and you can see that it can expand from the center. Now, I'm going to create a semicircle by just duplicating this circle right here. Then I'm going to go to the direct selection tool, and at the top bar, you can see that there is a negative tool. You can actually remove anchor points that you want. So I want to remove that one right here. This one right here is the one that I want to remove. I'm going to select delete. And you can see that the anchor handle is still protruding, which is what's causing it to be round. I want to get rid of that roundness on the right side. I'm going to move. To create a star, all you need to do is right click on this and then use the star tool. And then if you want to start from the center, all you need to do is hold Option Shift and it's going to generate that star. To adjust the way the star looks, all you need to use is the direct selection tool and adjust accordingly. Now we have a star with a different number of points. This star has 5 points, but the star we're going to do next has 10 points. So if you want to make sure that you have 10 points, you just need to click on the star tool once more. Just click anywhere on the board and it's going to have a window pop up. You're going to adjust the number of points to 10 and then press OK. And then you can adjust how it looks. And you can actually scale it so that it's a lot smaller. There you go. And rotate. Next is the 10 points, but with the live corners. We're going to round the corners. You're going to click on one of the corners. You don't need to double click, just click on it and then just round it. That way, all you need to do is expand and round it some more and rotate, and you will get this rounded 10-point shape. What you're going to do now is you're going to create all the different shapes and finish this board. Once you are done, place it onto the activity number 6, take a screenshot and paste it there. We're going to move on to the next activity, which is the stroke panel. We want to bring out the stroke panel out. And if your stroke panel happens to be this small, you just need to click on this arrow button, click on it 2 times to activate the whole stroke panel to appear. Every shape that you make is made out of a fill and a stroke. The fill is the inside color and the stroke is the outside. You can identify what the fill and stroke color are utilizing this square here on the left, on the color panel, and then also on the swatch panel. The strokes is right now is this outline that you have on the square. What we're going to do is we're going to create the square. We're going to duplicate it and we're going to do the same for here. And you're going to make sure you have 6 squares. In the stroke panel, you can actually manipulate how the stroke looks by adjusting the weight, cap, the corner, align stroke. So the first activity we're going to do is learn how to adjust the corners of the stroke. To adjust the corners of the stroke, all you need to do is just click on the 3 options available. So you can hover over it to figure out which one is which. We need to change this to a milter join, which it is already. Then for this, a rounded corner, you can see that this is a rounded corner. And then the bevel right here, which is the bevel join. That concludes how the corners look. You can see that the corners are all different. This is the milter, this is the round, and this is the bevel. The next activity is the align stroke setting. You can see that there's a pink outline. That's not actually the stroke, but basically indicating what the path looks like. Now you can adjust where the stroke is going to fit in, whether it's going to be within or outside of that pink line or in the middle. So right now we have align stroke, which is center, which is the current default setting. Now if I select align stroke inside, you can see that the stroke moved inside of the pink outline. Then if I select on align stroke outside, it would be on the outside. Weight options. I'm going to use the line tool and I'm going to create 3 lines. You can adjust the stroke weight, which is how thick your stroke is going to look. So I use the line tool to create my shape, and then I'm going to adjust the weight here on the top. So I can change it to 2. This one I'm going to change to 10, and then here I'm going to change it to 20. So that is the next activity. Now I'm going to duplicate all of this, and then I'm going to change the weight for all of this, and then I'm going to change the cap settings. So the cap settings can be found below the weight tool, and you can adjust the cap, which is how the stroke is going to end since it's open-ended. So this cap right here is the butt cap, which is what we want, 10 weight and butt cap. This one we want it to be round, so it's going to be a rounded tool. Then here I want it to be a projecting cap, which will go beyond this pink anchor point. Project. There you go. That is how you adjust the cap settings. Now the last setting we're going to do is dash lines. So I'm going to create 3 lines using a weight of 10, and then I'm going to activate the dash line tool by selecting on this right here. And what I want to do is I want to change it to 5 dashes, which will create this dash. So I'm going to do 10 points and 5 dashes. And in here we would do 10 and then here 20. Before we move on, we want to make sure that you take a screenshot of this activity and place it on to activity number 7. And this concludes our tutorial for the day.